The 6th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. I'm here. I'm doing something. I'll be back in just 1 minute.
Okay. So, you want to do this Tana Rabbanan, Phil?
No, we'll do the short part of it. We'll see. Ein Tana Rabbanim, Ein Lochim. Let's see. The Ein Lochim Meitzav. You don't purchase from the dyer.
Right.
Low oat. Low oat, the low dugmot. Oat is some kind of a wool. The low dugmot, no samples. The low tlushim, and not things that are torn off. Shel semer, torn up pieces of thread. Aval lochim mehen beged tzvua tave. But you can buy from him garments that were I lost my place again. That were woven.
Okay.
Even garments.
Beged savua. You can buy from him a garment that has been dyed.
Beged savua. Right, a dyed garment. Did I miss a line here? Yeah, beged savua. Or tvo begadim, or spun garments. And then there's this is that the Bach or what? There's a mark. No, that's not. There's a Bach. He adds the word ubagadim and garments that are spun. It's both. It's two things. Savu, there are two different categories. One is the svua, one's the beged that's colored, dyed, and then the other one is the beged that's spun. There are two types of things.
Okay. So now.
Okay. So we have Rashi's on all these things here.
Okay. I keep looking. I'm saying like not finding the Rashi, and I keep forgetting to look on the other column.
It's still on the right. Hasn't moved yet. We're in the bottom of the near the bottom of the right column. We're the oto.
Okay.
Kishimabim lo beged. So when he brings him a garment in order to dye it, chotach mimeno, he cuts off from it a little bit. Lifnei balav, in front of the owners. Liada, to know im yakolot et etzeva, if it will if it will absorb the color. He has to do a sample to make sure that the dyeing is going to work. So he cuts off a little piece in order to check it. They always tell you to do those type of things because you don't want to, color it all fine. You're going to ruin it all. So you just do a little. That's the whole concept of the sample. That he cuts up a little bit and to know if the color is going to be absorbed to it. Upamim, sometimes sheme'achbo etzlo v'shachov lo. He's ma'ach, he's delayed from him and the owner forgets.
Sometimes he keeps them, he withholds them, so to speak, and keeps them by himself. In other words, the dyer, he doesn't return them, doesn't return the os. And the owner neglects to demand them back because they belong to him, these osos.
Mm-hmm.
and so they end up in the hands of the tzaba, but they don't really belong to him. So that's why you can't buy them from him if he wants to now try to make some money off them. Okay.
Okay. The dugmo to the samples. That's the next Rashi. Shemebiyim lo, he brings him the owners, the owners bring him semes, wool, so with a dye. Umevi imo, they bring with him at semer, a little wool, silver color. The omer at seveli. What is how what? This is he brings him samples and says, "This is the color I want."
Right.
This is the color. He's giving him a sample to show what color he wants it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tlushe, the little threads of wool, shetalosh meaning hagiza, hatsemer. He detaches from something of the wool. What would be geezer of the wool? Ma'at ma'atz, little bit by little bit. What do you call a geezer?
Oh, giza is the shearings.
Oh yeah, he's at Hasher. Yeah, you do that. We talk about when the first shearings that the Kohanim got. Right, he brings from the shearings of the wool little pieces. But then the continuing on, you can purchase from him a small colored a dyed garment. The beged on the garment, shalem on a complete garment.
Right.
Low gana, but it wasn't stolen. The inami alternative, gonvu, kinyan, or it's either something that is not stolen, or alternative, it was stolen, kiniya b'shinui, but he did acquire it with a shinui.
So the first shot is that we don't suspect this Saba of stealing a whole entire garment. So right, we suspected him of keeping for himself the osos and the dugmaot, tulushet semer, but that's just small time stuff. But here you have a whole an entire garment. So that's a much larger thing to steal, and it's much harder to rationalize that in order to steal it. So we don't suspect that he's going to do such a thing. So therefore, it must be that he didn't. If he's selling it, it must be that it's his. He didn't just take it for himself. That's the first shot. And the second shot is Inami Gonbo, and even on the side that he did steal it, he stole all of this this fabric, and now he or maybe he did it. What did he do? He stole the entire. He's all he is he's a dyer. He's not a tailor. He's not a weaver. So it must be that we're saying that it was an undyed garment that he stole. I mean, it probably came into his possession because he was supposed to do a job with it. He was supposed to dye with it or something like that. And whatever maybe the person forgot or whatever it is. So he's got it in his possession, and we don't, but it doesn't really belong to him. So that we're going to call Geneva. But in any case, if he's going to go ahead and dye it and then sell it, so you could buy it from him because he acquired this undyed garment that he didn't own by virtue of making a shinui with the dye that he put on the that he made in the suits in the garments. Okay. And now these last two words of the brisa, v'tavui ubagot.
Okay, that's the spun garments, woven garments. The hinich dugma, and these are samples. Tavon, that were spun, or made from them bagadim, garments. They lotchim. They you can purchase them.
Right. Because why? Because even though there is to suspect that it's stolen, he stole the fabric or but he's now done a shinui with it. He's now done a malacha of spinning it, tvia, or he alternatively he got the garment, the fabric, and he made from it a beged, even though he's not a weaver. But I guess we're gonna say that that's. I mean, if that's what he has, so then that's what we'll Now, how does this work over here? In other words, these cases that we're saying that you cannot buy from him, we're saying that if he did this added malacha of if they're spun or they've been made into a beged, so then you could buy even those dukmaot or osot or telushet semer that we say you may not buy from him, but now you could buy from him because he acquired it through a shinui. Okay. And now the Gemora is going to ask the very same question that we asked in the previous brisa. Louis, you want to take over the reading of the Gemora?
Okay, where are we exactly?
You're on the art scroll.
Yeah.
We're on 119b3. We just finished the left paragraph. We're now up to the right. The Gemara addresses. That's where we're up to.
The Gemora addresses
Yeah, the Bryce's last ruling.
Hashta Tavui Shakil. Now that the Brisa has stated we may buy spun threads, bigadim mi boye. Did need to say anything about garments?
Right. Because the question is, like we said before, it's enough that he spun the stolen fabric in order to make a kinyan through shinui maisa. So even if he doesn't make it into a garment, but if after he spins it and he makes it into a garment, obviously that's going to also be no worse than the case of spun fabric that wasn't made into a garment. So we don't need, in other words, to say that you could buy it. You could buy begodim from him, because the begodim are obviously made out of a spun fabric that was spun.
Right.
That he spinned it, and therefore he acquired it already at that point before he even made it into a garment.
Right. So the Gemara answers, my bigadim. What garments? In other words, what's it talking about when it says garments?
Right?
Namte.
Namte.
Felt. garments which are made from unspun fibers. Unspun fibers.
Oh, see, so we got the same question and the same answer that we had in the previous brisa. These that we say that he could buy begadim from him, we're talking about begadim that were fashioned, woven with fabric that was not spun. So there wasn't any malacha that was done previous to making it into a beged. Making it into a beged was what made was the malacha. That was the only malacha that was done with this with this fabric, and so therefore that's the case that we're talking about. That the Brisa says that you could buy from him, and like that, it's not problematic. Why does it say begadim? Because we're talking about begadim that were made from fabric that was not spun. The fabric was not spun before.
Right.
Okay.
So I guess according to the footnote, the Hiddush is that both spinning wool into threads and pressing unspun wool into felt constitute changes that affect acquisition.
Right. Felt is not spun. To make the fabric into felt doesn't require spinning.
Right.
So there's no whatever it is that makes it. I don't know how they make felts.
It says, I have a footnote that says you press raw wool until the fibers are compacted together into a firm cloth. See Rashi.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, so Tana Rabbanan.
Do you want to before
Rashi's Phil?
See the Rashis? Let's see those two Rashis.
Go ahead.
The top one is Chashta Tavi Shakil Bagadim. Now that when you spin it, he pays for the God. He requires he buys the garments. Top maybe we need. Ha ain begadim here, even if it's not begadim, afal kain, even though tavin, even though it's been spun, doesn't have to necessarily be garments. You could just buy the spun threads.
Ha ain begadim elim kain tavan. There's no the Gemora's question is based upon the fact. Why do we need to say begadim in the brisa? Miboya, we need to say begadim. Rashi's explaining, ain begadim. There's no such a thing as begadim elim kain tavan, unless they're going to do spinning of the fabric. So like that, we have a kasha. Why does it have to say begadim? Because the begadim are always spun. Made of fabric that's been spun. On that, the Gemora answers, no. What type of begadim we're talking about?
Nimti. We're talking about
Namti.
Namti.
Yeah.
And that word, lavadin is felt is felt, I guess.
Levitt is felt.
And then it's pleatrim.
Even in modern Hebrew.
Pleatrim, the ain sham taveh, and that's not spun. Felt isn't spun.
It's not spun, it's pressed together. That's what we learned today. Okay. Moving right along. What's difficult is all these brises are talking about different types of people. Well, a weaver and a dyer, and but the principles are all the same. just the details of what's the things that you can buy from them, what's the things that you can't, are a little bit different. Okay. Now, next brisa, Tana Rabbanan.
Tanarabanan, the rabbis taught in the brisa. Ha nosein avaros the
Orot.
oros the abdan. He gives hides. Oros is skin. Hides. He gives hides to a tanner. Hakitsu in the lushin hare elu shel bal habayis. The trimmings and the torn off wool belong to the owner. Mishetef. I'm sorry. Viha oleh mishetef. Hamayim. Hare elu shelo. So the wool that comes out of the water rinse belongs to the tanner. So Rashi on this.
Okay. Phil's turn to read Rashi.
Okay.
Akitsuin.
The kitsuim are the cutoff pieces, the ends, so to speak, the remains. That doesn't help again. We get this old French, ronyara, the laz. Shinekatsa mean haor, that's cut from the hide or the skin, siviv, around, as you trim it, so to speak, the trim pieces that are cut off when you go around it. As opposed to tlushim, which are definitely cut off, things that are detached. Semer, the wool, hatlush, that's cut, mean from the skins. And then the semer haola mina shetef, the wool that comes out from the water, mayim that comes from the water, is his. The devar ma'ut, who it's just a little bit. Afkuri mafkile, because he's making it hefker. He doesn't consider it. It's such a little bit that he's not worried about it. It's considered hefker.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Those things are, yeah. Right, okay. And now we go further.
Okay, im haya shachor kule. If it was black,
This is the case of the Mishnah Shachor Gabe Levan, black on white.
Okay. Yeah, the English says black, it says on white. I see. It's referring back to a previous statement. Okay. If it was black on white, he may take off all the black threads and they belong to him. The Gemora comments, Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said, Kitsara Shimei Vikatzra Shakil Le. The launder is called a katsara, and that which he shortens, he takes for himself.
Yeah, what makes a katsar? Katsar is that something is short. It's from the word short.
Katsar Shakale. Katsar
Right, the
Shmei.
katsar is what he shortens.
No, Shakale. There,
But also it's the name of the launder. He's called a katsar, katsra.
Okay.
Oh, the Katsra and the Katsra Shokele and the Katsra that he cuts off, he takes.
Right. Amar Rabbi Yehuda.
Okay,
Amar Rabbi.
let's get to the Rashi on this first, okay?
Oh, there's a Rashi. Yeah, there's a Rashi on it. Go ahead.
The Rashi is the Katsara, Shemei. He's called a Katsara, the Katsar Shekel, because he shortens, he buys a shorten. Hakoves, the launderer, Nikra Katsri, the Lashon. He's called the Katsri, the one who launders it. Aram, the Lashon Aram in the language in Aramaic, the Katsara, and it's a Katsara, Shehu Mekatzer Min HaBeged, he will be the one who shortens the garment. Right. Whoever Shakile, the Didehim, he buys it and it's his, it becomes his.
Koves Nikra Katsra, the Lashon Arami. The Katsra Shuma Katser, and this thing. In other words, the Katsra is the name of the launderer, and it's also we call the chutim that he cuts off from the beged, that he removes from the beged. We call that also katsra. That's because that's the fabric that he takes. That's the strands that he takes, and he's entitled to take them, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Okay. Weiter in the Gemora, Rav Yehuda.
Amar Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda said, Hakol olin le minyan techeles. Everything even the threads that the launderer will generally remove, counts with respect to the measurement of the placing of the techeles, i.e. the tzitzit. The v'yitzchak b'ri kafich alayhu. My son Yitzchak, however, is particular regarding these threads and removes them before attaching the tzitzis. And I think there's a Rashi.
Yeah.
The minions.
A call, Aline, the minions at Techelis all go according to the taking out the they take out the tzitzis, the Techelis part, the amount equivalent to the Techelis. Oton, Shlosha Chutim, these are the 3 threads. Imlo Katsarm, if they're not shortened. Hakoves Olim, the launderer takes them out, Lamidat, Malay, from the full amount, the full measure. Kesher Gadol, a big knot. Shetzrichim Harchik et Techelis, that he needs to Harchik the Techelis. Shel tzitzis. Mitzvah from the edges of the given part. Menachot. So what is harchik? The tzitzis, he has to do something. He has to take it out.
He needs to distance the techelis of the tzitzis from the edge of the beged, where the end of the beged, sfata beged. So those 3 chutim. Now, when they say those 3 chutim, Rashi is assuming that we remember the halacha that we learned in the Mishnah, the Brisa, about the shlosha chutim. If we had a halacha about the shlosha chutim, that you can keep them.
Right.
So what happens if he doesn't take them? Osin shlosha chutim that he had a right to take, that came out from the beged, and those, I think Rashi said that those shlosha chutim were on the svata beged. So we're talking about the end of the beged, shlosha chutim. If he didn't take them out, imlo katzron, if he doesn't trim them off, hakoves, the launderer, olin lamidas maloi kesher godel. They will be calculated as part of the measure of the shear, which the name of the shear is just like you have a shear kazais, you got a shear kabetza, it's a certain size, it's a certain shear. So the shear over here that we're talking about is called mole kesher godel. Shetzorik laharchik. That's the amount of space that you need to distance the techelis of the tzitzis from the svata beged, from the corner of the beged. Okay, so in case you're making tzitzis, you got to know that. But you don't really have to know that. You just put the tzitzis into the hole, because the manufacturer that put the hole in the tzitzis, he follows this halacha, hopefully, of making sure that the hole is malay. What's it called again? Malay kesher godel. That's the shear that he has to distance the hole that you put the tzitzis in from the end corner of the beged. Okay.
I think our time is up.
Oh, but that's what Rabbi Yehuda said. But his son Yitzchak was he didn't go for that.
Right.
Okay,
Okay. Take care.
very good. All the best, everybody.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
thank you. Have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
Great day. Bracha v'atzlacha.
Amen.
Oh, let's see.